Greetings, everyone. This is Mike Wright, the Astro Sherpa, dropping in with a spatial report. And we're coming from deep space. Mercury is getting some signals from Mars on the other side of the sun. So Mars is seeing into the future, what's coming. So we have an interesting reveal. So while the 3D world is in this clash of old belief systems, there is something happening in space, a war in space. So the reveal is we lose to the moon. What in the world does that mean? Well, let's do a little backtracking here and see what's going on.
We are going to the moon, to deep space, and to Mars. Humanity will venture further out into our solar system than ever before. But the history that awaits us requires a first step.
This is a story of a mission that represents that essential first step to the moon. A mission that has become the first in a series of increasingly complex missions to expand the bounds of human exploration. This is the story of Artemis 1.
3, 2, 1. Boosters in ignition. And liftoff of Artemis 1. We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
Artemis 1 was a first flight that set new records of performance, exceeded our estimates for efficiency, and established new safety baselines for human flight into deep space. All before returning from this journey, plunging through Earth's atmosphere, and arriving safely back on our home planet.
The stakes riding on this mission technically, politically, programmatically, were higher than anything I've ever witnessed. Anything less than the perfect operation of over 2 million parts that make up the Orion and SLS space vehicles, as well as the execution of tens of thousands of procedures during the flight. And it's likely that this generation, our generation, we lose the moon.
Whoa, okay. Now what exactly are they saying here? We lose to the moon. So, what they're saying their mission is Artemis. Okay, who was Artemis? The first mission to the moon was Apollo. So Apollo has an association, and then Artemis has an association. So this second go around to the feminine, Artemis, goddess of the hunt and the wild in ancient Greek religion and mythology. So she is the twin sister of Apollo. Okay, so NASA's Artemis program aims to launch the first woman and the first person of color on the moon using innovative technologies and a global alliance. So this is, let's go back and look at when they put the man on the moon, and then we'll look at what they're going to do about putting the woman on the moon. So 61, they announced we're going to put somebody on the moon by the end of the decade. So let's look at NASA's budget. $744 million. So in constant terms today, that would be about billion. You math people do the math for us. So by 69, they were spending 33 billion, and they got us on the moon with a bazillion rocket launches. They were doing it all themselves. So now, supposedly, we outsource all this stuff to SpaceX. But guess what? NASA's budget, look at this. Look where it ballooned. So somebody started pumping in massive amounts. Literally, look at that. From there to there. That's a multiplication of 10 times. Huge, huge jump. So, and these numbers are not even real. This is what the public knows about. So when you see these massive budget asks for wars and Ukraine's and Israel wars and Palestinian protection, you know, all these things, these budget numbers are going to space. We're fighting a space war. You see what the guy said, the astronaut said back here, we lose to the moon. So the implications of that are the moon controls your emotional spheres. So they jack your emotions and control you from space. So the Chinese put a station on the backside of the moon. So guess what? NASA's been rolling big money. They're building these, you know, whatever hidden things to fight battles in space. Yeah, so their goal with naming this program Artemis is to make the feminine first woman to land on the moon. That's the mission. So, this is where we're going, what's coming. But if you noticed the whole program during the 60s, they had a lot of setbacks. And this Artemis program itself wasn't exactly, you know, all roses. It had a lot of problems, you know, in its first year, last year, November of 2022. It didn't go off, you know, as they explain in the beginning of their video here, you know, all peaches and cream, you know, increasingly complex missions. They were talking about how efficient they set records. That's gobbledygook for, you know, the thing performed, but, you know, we're still fighting major obstacles. So we are fighting new wars in space. So the old Earth understanding, you know, how we're controlled, you know, this is changing immensely. And there's all these satellites being put into space too that are communicating back and forth. So the old world as you know it is dead. Done. Gonzo. So this sun, Mars, in this nice alignment to Neptune. Neptune is the furthest planet we still consider planet, right? Poor Pluto got downgraded. Where's Pluto? Yeah. So Pluto, they've shown some amazing images of Pluto, just phenomenal. We've seen Saturn's rings up close. We've seen Neptune. We've seen Uranus. So, yeah, Uranus got his rings bleached. So, this big space telescope they put up there is blowing all the old models, you know, quantum physics and the old traditional cosmology is just being literally blown apart, rewritten. So major reveals. So you got to keep tuning in, tuning up, participating. That means stretch your mind. So when people are determined to do something and go somewhere, they can make it happen. The dream to put a woman on the moon. Here you go. We'll see how it goes. So that's coming. But you have to realize our government is funneling massive amounts of money. And it's not going to these false wars. We don't have armies. We don't have bases. We don't have, tanks on the ground, people feeding them. So where's all that money going? You just got to follow the trail. So it's going up in space, up in smoke, up in a chemical propulsion system. So what can we do about it here on Earth? Well, you have to understand humanity and how to be a human first. We're fighting the AI artificial system, and then we're also facing the collapse of what it means to be a male and a female. This is all changing drastically. How do we evolve into the new future? Children are, they are easily programmed now because they don't have experiences outside of their phone or their little programmed schooling. So this is a time where we have to come together as male and female and respect both spectrums. Breaking glass ceilings is fine, but if you shatter everything and everybody gets literally cut to pieces, what good does it do? Destroy everyone? Yeah, that's Kali, the great destroyer. Anyway, tune in, tune up, and participate. I hope you're well. Astro Sherpa out.